No matter what good or service your organization provides, it can be improved and bettered by making it an experience. Today we're going to be talking about experiences, providing them, and how having a theme to your good or service can provide a memorable and long-lasting experience. To give you an idea of where we're going to go today, I want to start with a little history. In the olden days, Mom would bake a cake strictly from scratch by commodities. She'd have wheat, some flour, eggs, milk, a little bit of butter, and she would bake a cake from scratch. Then in 1948, Pillsbury came out with the very first cake mix in a box. Just bake that, skip that step, and get a product. Later on, when life got too busy, the store offered baked cakes. You could just go to the store, buy the cake, and present it to your child. They made a cake baking service. Nowadays, we're in a new economy, the experience economy, where we have birthday hats, and we've got a big 3-tiered level cake, all purchased by Chuck E. Cheese's, where they've provided you with an experience. It's no longer a service or a good, but an experience. Now, as we talk about theming, the first main principle of experiences, or providing an experience, is theming. And that's a little bit of what we're going to be talking about today, is how to theme and what are the 5 elements of theming. So there are 5 main points when it comes to theming, 5 main elements that we're going to be talking about. First is theming the actual experience, giving the experience a theme that it can stay true to throughout the whole thing. Second is harmonizing impressions with cues. We're going to have cues that we're going to be talking about. We also want to eliminate any negative cues that might be occurring throughout our experience or our theme. Fourth, we're going to be mixing in memorabilia, give you something to take home. And fifth, we want to engage all 5 senses as much as possible. So let's go ahead and start with talking about theming the experience. Our example today is going to be a tea house. Now this is applicable to anything, no matter what it may be, whether it be a summer camp, a birthday party, or whatever type of experience you may be providing. But a theme is a story that engages the participants in your activity. So our tea house is going to have a Mad Hatter theme. That is a hat. We've got our Mad Hatter there. First point of theming is it needs to alter reality. You're asking, where am I? Where am I when I'm standing in this room? Am I really in Provo, Utah? Or am I in Alice in Wonderland? Dun, dun, dun. It also needs to affect space, matter, and time. You might lose track of time while you're in our Mad Hatter tea house because you're having so much fun and really enjoying the experience. It also creates multiple places. So within our Mad Hatter tea house, we're going to have 3 different rooms. We have one here for the Mad Hatter, one here for the Queen of Hearts. This is a tree, and that is the Cheshire Cat, so he'll have his own room as well. Meow. Theming is the overall driver, that is a car. They are the driver of experience management. We need to make sure that we're theming every experience possible so that we're providing all of our participants not just with a good or a service, but with an experience. So our second point is going to be talking about cues and harmonizing our impressions with those overall cues and what those really are. So when we think about cues, cues are clues, in other words, or signals that create a set of impressions. Impressions can also be thought of as takeaways, I guess. Takeaways. So when you think of a takeaway, these are what you want people to kind of have in their mind when they're leaving your experience. That's their mind. So the first thing that we need to be thinking about is mechanics and also humanics. There's 2 different points to cues and themes. Mechanics are things like signage, the environment, the landscape, the things that they're going to be seeing and physically touching and experiencing there. Humanics is your employees, the way they act there, whether they're in character or not. One thing that we want to make sure that we focus on is that cues need to support the theme. So our cues are going to kind of lead into our impressions, which will lead into our themes. If you think about Disneyland, one of their cues is they have trash cans everywhere and employees that are constantly doing that. Impression is a clean place, and the theme is Disney, right? Happiest place on earth. So if we're going to apply that to our theme today of the Mad Hatter theme, Okay, some of the impressions that we want to have is we want it to be warm, cozy, fun, and novel. So some of the cues that we can have to kind of lead into those impressions is a fire, have some cozy, warm, fuzzy chairs. Our servers will be in character, dressed up like Englishmen, like the Mad Hatter maybe, or some other Alice in Wonderland characters, taking their order. We'll have some fun pictures around to have that novel, fun ambiance. Wonderful picture there. And that will lead to those overall impressions or cues. Now, as important as cues are, we also need to eliminate any negative cues. We want to boost up our positive cues and eliminate any negative cues that may be possible. So we want to take away anything that detracts from the theme or from that experience. So a boombox in our Mad Hatter theme is not really going to go well, so we want to take that out. Any instructional signs go this way, want them to get out of there. Okay, even though the Cheshire Cat said that we need to know where we're going, not in this case. Employees should also stay in character at all times. When they're in work, they're in character, Mad Hatter. When they're out of work, that's fine, but while they're there, you need to make sure that they're in character at all times to eliminate any negative things that will take away from the theme. Fourth, we're going to be talking about memorabilia. It's a tangible reminder for that experience, what they've had. So we're going to give them a tea bag, and on the end of the tea bag is going to have a little note that talks about a little message that promotes being green or promotes whatever. 2 is socializing the experience, so we're going to have a Facebook page for our thing. We're also going to have a picture wall where people can take Kodak pictures of their experience and post it on there. We also need to have a memorable bestowal of that memorabilia. So we're going to provide them with a nice little bag, and we're going to make sure we write their name on it so that they've got their little bag to take their memorabilia or their tea bags with them when they go home. So with more extensive or longer type programs, memorabilia really helps with adjustment. So when they go back into the real world, they can continue to remember the experience they had and adjust to getting back to real life. The 5th point is engaging the 5 senses. We're going to be engaging taste. Got a little mouth here. Taste. Yum, yum, yum. Smell. Lots of yummy smells. What we're going to hear. What we're going to see. And also what we are going to touch. And again, this can be applied in each of your experience programs, whatever they may be. So with taste, we're going to have tea and hot chocolate. We're going to have biscuits and baked goods, different things that they can taste and smell. We're also going to have like a mystery flavored hot chocolate that they can guess and see what the flavor is and maybe get a free one. There's many, many yummy smells at a tea place. Yum smell. I'm very excited. We're going to have some beautiful music playing that will create a good ambiance, like an old English house, home, whatever it may be. So you get that feel of Alice in Wonderland or in an old English area. For sight, we're going to have some candles, create a good ambiance, have some pictures hanging up, some tapestries maybe. Just some fun things that can have a novel experience there. For touch, we're going to have these fun plush chairs that they can touch and feel. Going to have some beautiful drapes there that they can touch. Just have an overall interesting experience. A warm teacup that they can hold with their tea or their hot cocoa that they can drink, the steam going off of it there. So all of these 5 things, in summary, coming back together, is theming the experience, which we did today with the Mad Hatter. 2 was the cues, focusing on those, and 3, eliminating any negative cues that you may have. 4, focusing on memorabilia and really extending that experience, giving them that little tea bag with a note on it. And 5, engaging the 5 senses as best as you can. As you do these 5 things, it will promote a wonderful and memorable experience. Yay! These things can be applied in every which way, not just in the Mad Hatter Tea Hat, but in each and every program that you may be having. And we hope that you apply these and that you can turn any service, good, or commodity into an experience.